The bobbleheads on Fox and Friends responded to Tom Perez, the new DNC chair, who said that Republican politicians don't give a shit about people. Now, you know, I did a segment on that kind of mocking it because he's like trying to be edgy without really saying anything other than Republicans are bad. Really, Tom? What are you for? Are you for Medicare for all, single payer, HR 676, which is in the House right now? Shh. No, it doesn't say that. Don't actually be for something that'll really help people. Just be, I'm against bad things and I'm for good things. And lead with our values and our values are good and their values are bad. And just vague, generic platitudes and cliches, similar to Hillary Clinton. But, of course, now I'm put in a position where I kind of have to semi-defend Tom Perez because the idiots on Fox News are just so idiotic that they managed to do a whole segment going after him on this, but making no sense in the process.
Donald Trump, you don't stand for our values. That's what they said. Donald Trump, you didn't win this election when it came to health care. You want Trump care. So what do we call it? Trump care? Do we call it Ryan care? Well, I'll tell you my idea, because you know what embodies the program? I don't care.
Well, forget about going high. The new DNC chair, Tom Perez, says Donald Trump didn't win the election, and Republicans don't care about people.
Oh, here to respond, RNC Chairwoman Ronna Romney McDaniel. Good to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
A lot of anger coming from Tom Perez. What's your reaction?
Well, I think it's deeply concerning to see the head of the Democrat Party continue to try and delegitimize this election. Not only President Trump, who did win this election by a lot, but also the voters. Voters like people from Michigan and my state who were so concerned about jobs and the economy. And Donald Trump came and presented a vision, and the Democrats are continuing to ignore what the voters said on November, that they feel like this country is going in the wrong direction. And the anger he just showed and delegitimizing their voices is very concerning.
Can I just underline the fact that he's cursing on one of his first public appearances? I didn't remember Terry McAuliffe, whether you agree with him or not, he was not handling it that way. Ed Gillespie and others who in this position should usually show a degree of class. Number two, this is the handpick of President Obama. That's the one they pushed forward. So he represents his school of thought, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think Democrats should be denouncing his behavior this weekend. To say that Republicans don't give a blank about people, that should not be rhetoric that the head of the Democrat Party should be using.
I want to shove my hand in a waffle iron after watching that. Okay, so Brian Kilmeade is my favorite because he's just like notoriously dim. But he says, he's cursing in his first public appearance. Well, gosh golly, Papa, let's go watch Leave It to Beaver and remember the good old days. And wasn't it great when the Negroes knew their place? Oh, did I say that out loud? What? That was perhaps an unfair potshot, but he goes on to say, you know, they should show a degree of class. He should show a degree of class in his position. Class? You want to talk about class? And then she goes on to say, well, they should denounce him. The bill the Republicans were pushing. Notice they didn't have anything to say about the actual bill, did they? Tom Perez was talking about how shitty the Republican bill is. They had nothing to say about Trump Care, the bill. They had nothing to say about it. Why? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because 52 million people would be uninsured under that bill. 52 million. It raises the uninsured rate from 10% to 19%. It guts Medicaid to the tune of $880 billion. It's a tax cut for the rich of about $600 billion. I'm not kidding. The average person in the top 0.1% gets $200,000 extra every year as a result of that bill. So the bill was an utter disaster, and it would have been the implosion of the U.S. healthcare system. Oh, and my favorite fact about it, the number of people who wanted it implemented, 17%. 17%. So Tom Perez, who I don't like for the record because he's pro-TPP and he didn't say that he's for Medicare for all in that speech, so it's kind of bloviating that he's doing. But Tom Perez accurately says It's just a duh to point out, yeah, the Republican politicians don't give a shit about people. If they did, they wouldn't propose a bill where 53 million people are uninsured, where $880 billion is cut from Medicaid, which no doubt would lead to deaths because you're taking health care away from poor people. There's already 17,000 deaths because about 19 Republican governors didn't sign on to the Medicaid expansion to begin with. 17,000 deaths a year. So of course you don't care about people. There's no fucking question there. But that's the only way they can respond, is what you just saw right there. Well, gosh golly, I love how that RNC chairwoman, by the way, sounds like the parody of a white woman that a black comedian would do. Well, gosh golly, you know, he's cursing. And Democrats should denounce him and show a degree of class, because everybody knows that class is supporting a bill that only 17% of Americans are behind, and class is gutting Medicaid, $880 billion, and class is cutting taxes for the rich, $600 billion, and class is 53 million uninsured people. So show some class and hate poor people more and kick them off their health care. The tone police. What happened? I thought the Republicans, the right-wingers, well, fucking liberal snowflakes, pussies, tone policing people. What are you doing? What are you being saying? Buck up, get over it. What are you talking about? Oh, you don't like tough language from conservatives? Piss off. First Amendment, bitch. Suck it. Free speech warrior. Yeah. Oh, Tom Perez said shit. Oh, outrage button. I can't believe he said shit. That's classless. He needs to show a degree of class. The Democrats should denounce it. Bitch, you should denounce the bill that 17% of the American people supported that you tried to shove down their throats like Trump. What a joke you are. If you take these people seriously, I don't know what to say to you. Get over it, he cursed. The real annoyance with Tom Perez in that segment is what we covered the other day. That Tom Perez it's just empty, like, okay, Republicans are bad. Got it, easy. But what do you want to do? That's where he doesn't say Medicare for all. That's where he doesn't say HR 676. So, yes, it's empty and the Democrats are making excuses for losing the election and blah, 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 blah. That's all true. But stop pretending like you're the answer, Republicans. You're even worse. It's just the Democrats did such a shitty job running against you that people went, you know what, we've had enough of that. Let's try something different. But your different is worse, and you refuse to even engage on the actual issue, which is how bad the healthcare bill is.